Alright, welcome to week 6 of Redcord Draft. You should know the drill by now. We're going through every battle and order played. I'll be talking about, just whatever. What plays went right, what plays went wrong, what people could have done differently, etc., etc. This is week 6. We're getting down to the wire now. Week 7 is next. Only 8 weeks, guys. We're really getting there. We're starting to get some more people confirmed in and out of playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, let's just get right into it. First, we got Cable versus Monem. We're going to see Blastoise get led into Gastrodon. This is very good for Monem. You could just trade rocks here, but Cable reveals Yawn, actually, and I'm reading the Gastrodon's name. Monem reveals Toxic. Both people ripping statuses off rip. Cable, Yawn, very nice bring. Gastrodon, very obvious switch for the Blastoise, having some way to force it out, very nice. Toxic, also good. The team has no switch-ins. We're going to see him go to Celesteela, and we're going to see a flip turn crit, which is a bit unfortunate, and straight to Mew. We're going to see Gastrodon come back in, and it's offensive Mew. And we're going to see Energy Ball Oko instantly. Big mix-up from Cable. Yeah, hard to prep for Mew when it can do so many different things, and that set clearly not something Monem expected. I don't know what you can really do about that, but we're gonna see Psychic come off next. Yeah, and then T-Bolt into the Moltres before it gets roared out. Yeah, Monem has pretty much lost this game already. There's not a lot he can do, and roaring into Ditto is even worse because there is no flamethrower switch. Yeah, there's no flamethrower switch at all. Yeah, so he just lets this die, gets this in Terras, and this confirms his loss, because here's the problem. This Celesteela is Meteor Beam, right? Clearly from the Autotomize. But now that it's gotten rid of its base typing, Ditto. I shouldn't have to say more than that. Monem's win con was getting this set up, being able to Meteor Beam the Zapdos specifically, and keeping his typing, which was really, really difficult to do. It was possible, really, really difficult. So the Terra here means it's kind of game. This could get flinched down only once. He's going to get the Meteor Beam off. Yep. He's going to go +2. Doesn't matter. He's just going to go to this. A small misplay, by the way, clicking Air Slash and not Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon actually does more. But at this point, I don't believe it matters. We're going to see Sucker Punch come off. So the game isn't over yet, but at the same time, what's beating this like, Cable just has so many Pokemon at this point that it is nearly impossible for Monem to bring this back. We're gonna see Psychic come off. He doesn't have a move other than Psychic typing for the Ditto. Shiva comes back in. He's gonna double back to Aalaxel, predicting a switch, but at this point, Cable's Terra Fairy. He's got no reason to switch. It's gonna live this T-Bolt on 1 though. But at the end of the day, Valiant's going to clean it up. Yep. I mean, he just got completely taken by surprise by the Mew set. I'm going to be honest. Like, there just wasn't a lot to do after that. I mean, there's not really... I don't really have a lot to say in depth. It's very hard to predict the Mew set. If it's me, I see Terra Fairy and I assume that it's defensive for Urshifu. So... you know, hard to say. Hard to say what to do there versus the Mew. I think just having better answers overall on the team, I don't fucking know. Maybe making Urshifu a higher priority, because Mew does just generally lose to Dark types, even with Terra, so setting that out first might have been the answer. I really am not sure. But no, setting up the Celesteela and Terra Ring just means this gets to come in for free. But I will say, he got pretty lucky. Monem still got really lucky. Cable missed a Air Slash. He got this Thunderbolt roll as well, which is insane. Yeah, that air slash miss was super important, because otherwise he's getting 5-0'd. Just straight up. If this air slash lands, these two are just dead. Like, there is no question. Getting this flinch as well was super nice, because you already know this is clicking Yawn, it's clicking Scald, it's clicking something. So yeah, actually very fortunate from Monem this game to not just get immediately swept. But yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say than that. You got taken by surprise by the Mew. Clicking Terra on the Celesteela means you auto-lose to the Ditto. Yeah, I mean, it's a short game. What more is there to say? Nez versus Excelsior. This game was over as soon as it loaded in. I want you to look at this. I want you to look at Excelsior's team. I want you to look at that first one. That Drake is all right there. And I want you to look at Mabel's team. And I want you to go. I want you to ask yourself, who switches in? Yeah, I'm not sure either. So we're gonna see lead Hippo, very standard. Lead Finny, very standard. Yeah, there's nothing here. And we're gonna see Rain Dance, which is actually really sick. He's going to go to his grass type on the water type, who would have guessed. It's still going to do a lot, though, because this thing doesn't have a ton of Spadaf. And with the rain, that's a lot. We're going to see Taunt come off, stopping Leech Seed, Toxic. Well, Toxic wouldn't matter, but stops Leech Seed, which is pretty nice. But, I mean, he's just going to Giga Drain on the water type. He's not... doesn't care a ton. We're going to see the Torn come out. Still very standard. We're going to see Hippo... On the Torn gets rid of the rain, it's going to U-turn. There's nothing really crazy so far besides the Rain Dance. Nothing super of note. And then we're going to see Dummies come in. Yeah, so this is Rapid Spin Dummies. Excelsior correctly makes the predict here that Mabel is going to probably Rapid Spin and not Power Whip. Even so, what's this Dummies doing if the Mandibuss switches in, right? Like, the Mandibuss switch is so obvious. So staying in and yawning to force it out is and keep your rocks up is a really nice play. Like a really, really nice play. I like that a lot from Excelsior. We're going to see Torn come back out. Makes sense. And then we're going to see Dracozolt. And we're going to see Bleakwind miss. Yeah, this should just be a free kill for Excelsior. And if it's Smooth Rock, we're going to see a lot more kills. So first Bolt Beat comes off, does 31, no leftovers because of sand. And you might be thinking it takes another. No, Excelsior actually brings Terraflying Aerial Ace, which is a really good bring here. Predicting that, or showcasing that the Delmies is one of the better switches, or so are just grass types in general. So having that, really nice from him. We're going to see this Metagross come out. Now, this is Terra Grass Metagross, but Excelsior predicts no Terra and gets it right as the Reflect comes off. And then goes Tangrowth, knowing that with the Reflect, he doesn't really want to be taking too big a hit on this Dracozolt because it is so good into the rest of the team. We're going to see Knockoff on the Torn, and then we're going to see Hippo once again on the Torn, and another U-turn. Still, Excelsior so far has taken so little damage across the board. Mabel's half health on this, down a whole Mon, 65 on the Metagross. This is really not... This is just so hard for Mabel to get into this game. Mostly because she has to play this entire game knowing that at any time, if this Dracozolt comes out, she's losing a Mon. And now that Terrafly Aerial Ace has been revealed, Terra Grass on Metagross isn't even that great anymore. So we're going to see the Tapu Fini come out. We know it's not leftover, so it's taking chip from sand every turn as well. That's the other important part here. Rain comes off, but the Reflect goes away because Metagross is not Clear Amulet. And now that this thing's boosts have been knocked off, it's taking rocks as well. This is just really good from Excelsior overall. I mean, yeah, Dracozolt 6-0s the whole team, but he's been playing the rest of this game really well as well. Managing the dummies really well, keeping rocks up, which is really nice. And just, yeah, overall, just being able to manage the defensive threats really nicely. And Mabel has, and he's also exploiting the big weakness with Mabel's team is that most of her offense resides in that Sneasler. And you don't want to force the Sneasler in very often. So, without it, Excelsior is free to kind of just go between his defensive mons without much cause. But now that Sand is up and Torn is on the field, that means Dracozolt gets to come right back out. I like the Tailwind. I feel like the stronger play was clicking U-turn, because he went to Dracozolt last time this was on the field. So Tailwind is nice, but I just feel like, because now, I mean, still, nothing is stopping this from clicking Bolt Peak. Yeah, Metagross has defense and all, but look at this damage. Like, there is no stopping this from Bolt Peaking. And even with Tailwind, it's not faster, it's a slow mon, so Bullet Punch has to come on. Finny comes out and does get the Rain Dance off, however, it's still going to die to Bolt Peak. At this point, this Dracozolt has no switch-ins. Excelsior knows this. He's just going to sack his Hippo, get Rain back up now permanently, and click Bolt Peak for the rest of the game. Like, again, very nice play recognizing that, but at the same time, Mabel just has no answers for this. Now, Mabel does have a ground edge. She does have Crocodile. I am shocked it didn't get brought, in all honesty, because there were just simply no Dracozolt answers without that mod. And we're going to see no Misty Seed. It was White Herb. It was CC White Herb on Sneasler. Yeah, I mean, you just... when you fight a Dracozolt, you've got to bring your ground type. Because even if Dracozolt does get low kick, I think this variation had low kick on it. Even if the mon does get coverage to beat you, you just need something to stop it from clicking Bolt Peak all willy-nilly, which is what happened here. Like, and a strong 5-0 for Excelsior is really nice because he needs this for his playoffs. Excelsior started off going 0-4 and has won his last 2 games now, and now has a reasonable contention for playoffs because of a win like this. So yeah, Mabel, just bring the ground type when the Dracozolt's there. It's just, yeah. But it was also a team thing. Like, Mabel has a lot of mons that can just sit there defensively, but so does Excelsior, and he is fine to pivot around with them, especially because he had he got his rocks up so early and played keeping his rocks up really well. Like, really well. I don't know. I think if you're Mabel and you're predicting lead Hippo with the Finny Rain Dance there, you should low-key just be leading Samurai. And just clicking Ceaseless Edge. I feel like Spikes would have been really nice here. Even though Excelsior does have really strong removal though, so I'm not sure. I mean, it was a bad matchup for Mabel, but also Excelsior just played it really nicely. Yeah, good matchup, good play. There's not much more to say. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of ripping through these battles as compared to last week, but at the same time, I don't feel like there's a lot of analysis to do here besides like, this guy played well, this guy didn't expect this guy's team just didn't have anything to deal with it. Oh, okay, never mind. We're spending 20 minutes on this probably. Me versus Sableye. There is a lot to say about this game. This match was really hard to prep for, both because Sableye's team is good, but also there's a weird dynamic with our teams. You know what? Let me pull up the Redcord doc, and kind of showcase why this matchup was so hard to prep for. How zoomed in am I on the screen? Okay, not at all. Here's the thing. If you look at my team and you look at Sableye's team, really any mon besides Slacking could come to this game. On my team, almost every mon is strong. Wo-Chien is not a bad switch to Rillaboom, and especially Zeraora. It's a resist to Swampert. It can switch in especially to Lando. Not great, but it can try. Passimian also wasn't good here. Passimian was just shit here, but the 6 I ended up bringing didn't include Mamoswine. Mamoswine was still really good into this team. I mean, it doesn't take a lot to realize that Mamoswine's dual stab just kind of runs through the whole squad. The reason I didn't is I had more value off the Word Ear. I'll explain that in a second, but Heatran had to come, even though it sucked versus everything else. It beat the Volcarona always. So, because of Flash Fire plus Spadef, I mean, I quad resist its dual stab, and I'm immune to the other one. And then obviously like Bundle, Coco, Terraments were always coming. Petrolent is so strong defensively, especially for these two. It was like a necessity to bring. Yeah, but then if you look at Sableye's team, I mean, you know, let's think about this for a second. These two are guaranteed coming. We don't even need to think about it. These two are absolutely coming to the game, okay? Volcarona, even though it gets hardwalled by Heatran, is still pretty strong. It's an Ice Switch in, which is pretty nice. It obliterates the Wo-Chien. It can beat the Mamoswine. With Flame Body, if I'm physical Coco, he could potentially, burn me. Same with Immense, he could burn me. Muck Alola, Clear Amulet Muck Alola, hard walls Petron always, which is a reason why I brought a very strange Petron set, which I'll get into later. Swampert just is free pivot into most of the team. It's a free switch to Heatran. It's a mostly free switch to Coco. Landorus, we don't even need to talk about why that's good here. Cofagrigus is just a nice defensive mon. I was really scared of Avalugg, to be honest, because Avalugg hardwalls Mamoswine, one of the very few mons in the game that can do that. It's not a bad switch to bundle, even though it has literally no special defense at all. Just because it resists ice. It could be a switch to bundle. It could stop D-Dance Mence, which is the reason why I bought a very strange Mence set, and so on, so on. So what I ended up doing, first of all, there's a Landorus. This Landorus is a very free switch to Coco in a lot of cases. So is the Rillaboom. So I brought Choice Band U-Turn Coco, just because I wanted big damage, and I wanted good pivot. Bundle was Boots because there's good rocks on the other side of the field, and Quark Drive Speed, which should be obvious. Looking at the team, there's a lot of Scarfers and a Zeraora. Mence was Terra Fire Flamethrower with Dragon Dance. That sounds weird, but hear me out. First of all, I'm Terra Fire because I'm running Dual Wing Beat and I don't want to get burned by the Volcarona, right? Yeah, that's fair. But the reason I'm Flamethrower is just because the only thing that my Mon gets that can hit the Avalugg. Even with +2 on a physical fire move, I'm only doing about half with Terra Fire to the Avalugg. Or it might be +1. Either way, I do 0 damage to the Avalugg without a special move, so I brought Mixed. At the same time, it means I can hit the Tinkaton, specially, so it can't pickpocket my item if it's running Balloon Pickpocket, for example. Petron is Mean Look Curse, because with Clover Berry, I'm max plus defense nature. I am super defensive. This means if I get the play right, I Mean Look Muck as it comes in, and I click Curse, I can spam Recover until the Muck dies, and I can peel the Muck off the field in 1v1 it. This opens up Malignant Chain a lot, right? Heatran is here. Heatran is shit into the entire team, except it beats Volcarona, it gets Stealth Rocks, and Magma Storm can be clicked pretty freely. Otherwise, defensively, it's garbage. And then there's the Wordier. The Wordier is a war crime of a set. I'm not going to pull up my Showdown because I'll leak my Team versus Birds that I have cooking up. But the Wordier is Weakness Policy Sap Sipper. Mixed. The reason being, I need Special for stored power to hit the whole team. I want Physical High Horsepower to hit Tinkaton and to hit Muck, which are the only things that live as stored power. Everything else dies, just straight up. But the reason I brought this set specifically is because, think about it for a second. Sap Sipper Weakness Policy. What is the Rillaboom hitting me with, right? U-Turn Knock proc my Weakness Policy. Grass Moves proc my Sap Sipper, right? He can't really... What else is he going to click into me that does damage? So, if he fell for it, it would have meant I got enough free boost with my agility that I also have, and the game would have ended. But let's get into it, because that's just with prep. We're going to see lead Cofagrigus. I decided to Volt Switch here. I don't want to reveal that I'm Choice Band, which is what I would do if I U-turned, and even then, Volt Switch actually does more. I am mixed with Volt Switch because if the Landorus does die early, that means that Volt Switch is very free into the team. Overall, having a special move is good. There were quite a few mons where just clicking a special move would have been nice, and Coco just gets no physical moves. I'm running Brave Bird, Wild Charge, U-Turn. I don't have other physical moves. I don't get more physical moves. So, Volt Switch out into Heatran because I'm predicting Will-O-Wisp. And also, at this point, I'm thinking Heatran is my least valuable mon. Why? Why am I thinking Heatran is my least valuable mon? Because it 1v1s the Volcarona, and that's it, right? So I'm thinking, listen, I have a Terrifier Mence, and I have a bundle that will just beat the Volcarona anyways. I'm not super worried about the Volcarona. So when something like this, when an oh shit moment like the Coffer Gregas comes out happens, I can use Heatran and just kind of use it as like, it's at least valuable mon. I can get damage off, and I can deal with this. If I trade these two, what I'm saying is I'm okay to trade these two. I would prefer to get more than a 1v1 trade, but I'm okay to trade these two. Additionally, you'll notice that he tricked my Power Herb. I was Power Herb Solar Beam because the rest of my team, if we look at the rest of my team, I struggled quite a bit versus the Swampert. And the Swampert was if the Swampert was coming out on anything, it was coming out on the Heatran. So I brought Power Herb Solar Beam just to wipe it off the field. But he didn't end up bringing the Swampert, so yeah, my rocks go up, which is very nice. I need rocks versus this team. As he body presses me. Again, I'm okay to sack this. I just need damage on this so it's not like a threat anymore. And he's going to click Shadow Ball. With my Magma Storm, that's going to put this in range of rocks, which is so nice for me. I low-key should have Magma Stormed again, but I was worried he'd stay in. Oh, I did Magma Storm again. Never mind. Yeah, I was worried. First of all, he's not trapped because he's a ghost type, by the way. But second of all, I figured a switch might be coming, and even if it didn't, this was going to 1 HP, and I could just bring Coco right back out and click U-turn. Which I think at that damage range would not reveal that I was banded. So it would just reveal that I'm both Volt Switch and U-turn, which is not super uncommon, I don't think. Or not super unexpected, I should say. I missed Magma Storm on the Muck, which is a little unfortunate, but nothing terrible. I get the next one off as he kills me. I don't get the Magma Storm chip, but it's fine. Damage on this Muck is good. I bring out the Word Ear. Why do I bring out the Word Ear? Tapu Koko doesn't kill a banded U-turn at this range. Bundle doesn't kill if it's Assault Vest, which from that Magma Storm damage, I know it's one of two things. It's either Max with Def with Choice Band, or it's it's Attack Invested with Assault Vest. Just think for 3 seconds on which one is more likely there. Yeah, it's most likely Assault Vest. So Bundle doesn't do anything. I don't really want to start setting up with Ments just yet, just because there's too many threats on the other side of the field. Even though I reasonably could have there, if we're being honest. Yeah, but I also don't really want to get knocked off. I forget what my item... Oh, I was Boots. Yeah, I didn't want to get... No, it's not that I didn't want to get knocked off. I didn't want to get poisoned. Because, like, a Poison Jab, Poison Touch was very likely to just neuter my Ments. So I bring out this instead. Because I'm Weakness Policy and I want him to knock me off. We're going to see the stat of rocks as I Agility. And after this, Sableye knows. He knows why I am this set. Because Sableye's not stupid, right? He's looking at this. First of all, my other abilities are Intimidate and Frisk, so he knows I'm Sap Sipper. So if I'm bringing this hard out on the Mug, and I'm Agility, plus Sap Sipper, he's putting the pieces together and going, oh shit, Sap Sipper with Weakness Policy means I'd have to proc it with the Rillaboom, right? So instead he goes back to Muck, which is really smart. However, I am packing High Horsepower, which is, again, not the most common thing. Also, this Word Ear just gets random moves. So, yeah, I needed to High Horsepower there. I just killing the Muck was super nice. It opened up a lot of my special mons, and it opened up my Pecharunt big time. I mentioned I'm Mean Look Curse to open up my Pecharunt here, but now I can kind of click Malignant almost for free. The only thing I'm worried about is it's double Terra Steel on Rillaboom and Zeraora. So, out comes Volcarona. I'm Psy Shield Bash. This is a move that boosts my defense. I am doing this because I want stored power. Plus I get defense. I do get Flame Botted here, which is a little unfortunate as he roosts, but it was going to happen eventually. I'm not too pressed about it. I'm just going to keep Psy Shield Bashing because I want my stored power damage. Until he clicks Quiver Dance. Now I have to stop this threat immediately. It's +2, it can sweep my team at this point. I mentioned before with the Heatran I wasn't scared of it. But if this is because I was assuming it was defensive, but that Fire Dance damage should have given it away that it's offensive. I should have gone Meds sooner, and that's on me. But I'm Terra Fire, I'm going to get Fiery Danced, and I'm going to Dueling Beat to kill it off the field. I should have Dragon Danced here, because I should have recognized that Wisp Attack in his bulk investment that I know he has some Psy Shield Bash. He doesn't have a lot of speed. I should have D-Danced, gotten +1, and then killed it with Dueling Beak, because then it would have been a much scarier threat for the rest of the team. I mean, the Landorus would have just come out, but it also would have made sure Landorus got another, or it would have told me for certain that it was Scarf. I was pretty sure it was Scarf, but that would have told me for certain it was Scarf. We're going to see the Landorus come out, of course, and it's actually going to U-turn, predicting a switch. I was fully okay to sack this. If we're being honest, I should have sacked the Wordier. Yeah, I should have sacked the Wordier. I don't think staying in here was not the greatest play, because this Mon does have a lot of usage later on. With Terrifier and Intimidate, I can kind of just fuck up the Rillaboom and the Zeraora, like, pretty big time here. But we're going to see Zera come out anyways. I just clicked Outrage. I also did want big damage on this Landorus, so I was okay with staying in if he clicked something that wasn't Earth Power. So, but no, I probably should have just sacked Wordier. That was probably the better play, but also, I am a little surprised Sableye didn't just Earth Power, because he does just get a kill. Like, forcing a kill was really strong. I think he thought the Wordier was gonna die, but even then, like, I'm not scared of the Zeraora or the Rillaboom being on the field. I'm scared of the Landorus being on the field. Because at this point, Landorus is beating my whole team. After this Terrifier, this Landorus is beating my entire team. I feel like just clicking Earth Power there was the better play. Yeah, it definitely was. Because literally, he just kills a Mon. In fact, he kills two, because I'm not Scarf Bundle, and he's Scarf Landorus. So, but after that U-turn, I knew it was between two sets. It was either going to be choiced in some way, or it was going to be Double Dance. After U-turn, it's not Double Dance. And I really don't think it's Specs either. I don't think he runs Specs U-turn. I think that's just counterintuitive. I mean, you definitely could, but I think it's way more likely, especially into my team, which is like very hyper offense. He just is running Scarfed Outspeed things. So we're gonna see Special Thunderbolt come off. I just go this and click U-turn. There's nothing big going on here. I have to go Bundle, because if I don't go Bundle, I let in the Landorus. And we're going to see Rillaboom come out. I don't realize this until the very tail end of the game, but I actually live a Grassy Glide. I have about a 6% chance to live a Grassy Glide on this Bundle, because Bundle has war amounts of defense. So if I wanted to, I could have stayed in. But I need to be at full health for that to happen. No matter what, I'm taking a hit here. And he's clicking Terra Steel, so I'm not even killing with a nice move. There's no reason to stay in and spend my HP now. So I just go to Wordier thinking, I mean, he could click a Grass move. He just clicks Knock, which is a totally fine play. Shows the weakness policy as I die. I'm just going to go Pecha because I live everything. He's going to crit me on the Knock, but it still only does 23, which is, again, this Mon is a war crime. I'm gonna actually double the Coco, predicting the Landorus off the U-turn, which is what I get. I get the Landorus off the U-turn, which is very nice. This endgame was really tricky to navigate. I had no idea what to do here, because here's the thing. Bundle is getting beat by Rillaboom, but it's the only thing beating the Landorus. The Landorus beats the other two Mons. I can still win this, I just have to navigate it super carefully, especially since this is Earth Power. I am plus speed, I'm Quark Drive speed, so in terrain, I will be faster. My play here should be sack Pecha, go Bundle, I have to click Hydro Pump on the Rillaboom switch, pray I land both in 2-8 KO on the Steel, and then when Landorus comes back out, sack Coco, get Bundle in, click Ice Move, and take my 1-0 win. That should be the process that happens here. Instead, Sableye clicks Sludge Wave, which I should not have to tell you why this is a throw. This is a mega throw. And I don't even, by the way, I'm not even sure if 2 Hydros kills. Because it was a roll to Oko a regular Rillaboom, but he was also a Soul Vest, and terrain is up. So I have to land both Hydros, probably get rolls on both in order to win this game from this position. Because once again, I should live a Grassy Glide most of the time, so double Hydro into Rillaboom is what determines this game, which would have just been 2 rolls. I don't know what percent chance I had to win, but I don't know. But instead, he doesn't kill the Pecha and clicks Sludge Wave, which again, mega throw. That means I just get back to full. He clicks Sludge Wave again, which, like, dude, I'm going back to full. Yeah, Sableye said in the postgame that he just forgot about Recover, which is... Like, this Mon gets no moves. It's always running Recover. Even if it's running Nasty Plot, it's running Recover. So, yeah. Now, here I have a mix of plays. He could U-turn back to Landorus, but I'm most likely clicking Curse. I could go to Coco, but if he clicks a Grass move, I lose instantly. Because no matter what happens, if Coco dies, he goes back to Landorus, or he just has to force Rillaboom out again and sweep with Landorus. So as long as he can get Landorus in safely once, and then he can just throw out Rillaboom, reset the terrain, Landorus is faster and kills everything with Earth Power. But he clicks U-turn this turn, which I believe I clicked Curse, which is really good because I needed this damage. And that's what we're going to see go down. We're going to see one proc of Curse. Now, I actually made a bad play here. I should stay in sack Petra Run, in all honesty. This should be stay in, sack Petra Run, go Coco, and then he'll have to stay in and... No, actually, no, that wasn't a throw, because, yeah, that was not my out to win. Yeah, because I can't... If right now... If the two Mons on the field are Rillaboom versus Iron Bundle, I'm losing. Because I can't OHKO it, and he can OHKO me with whatever he wants. So, Petra beats Rillaboom, Bundle beats Landorus, but only with terrain up. So, at this point, I'm going through the endgame in my head. I'm thinking, how can I possibly win this? First of all, one consideration to make. Landorus... After Curse will be at 13%, he'll live rocks on 1 HP. That's really bad for me. I wish it just did. If it just did a sliver more, I would have been fine. But unfortunately, it doesn't. So I'm going through my head. I'm going, okay, at this point, if the process is this dies to Earth Power, I have to sack Coco next because this gets another turn. I'll put the terrain up. I'll put Bundle out, but then Rillaboom will just come out with his own terrain. Hydro doesn't kill, and then he'll Wood Hammer me, or Drum Beating, or whatever Grass move he has that isn't Glide. He could even just Glide twice, and it would be fine. So I'm going, okay, well, then that means that's not an option. We cannot sack Petra Run. We need that. That's not a possible way to win this game. Sacking Bundle, out of the question. If I sack Bundle, I have to actually, could I? I could, if I sack Bundle, he'll go down to 1 HP left on rocks. He'll know he dies to Curse, so whatever comes out, he just goes Rillaboom. Because once Bundle's dead, yeah, he just sacks Rillaboom to whatever. He can leave it on the field literally as long as he wants. It doesn't matter if this is at full. This comes right back out, lives rocks on 1 HP, because again, Curse would only knock him down to 13. He clicks Earth Power twice and I die. So, okay, can't sack Bundle either. What about Coco? That's pretty much my only other play at this point. Because he's clicking Earth Power. He's not clicking Sludge Wave again. He's not that bad at the game. If I go Coco, he kills Tapu Koko, I get Bundle in, I can click Hydro twice on Rillaboom on the switch, kill it, potentially, but even then, yeah, Lando would just come back in and I'd lose, so I actually have to pray for a throw, but I believe Coco is my best option because it forces this off the field, at least temporarily. But my only other out is to pray that Stealth Rocks does more than 12 somehow. That even though he gets knocked down to 13, he somehow still dies to Rocks. That's my only out. Except, Sableye stays in here, thinking he might die to Rocks. This means I win. Pedram 1v1's Rillaboom. Unless he gets 15 crits, Pedram 1v1's Rillaboom. So we're going to see Boom come in. He's going to crit the Grassy Glide, which otherwise it's only about a 6% chance for me to die. But again, it doesn't matter. Petrun just wins. He clicks Knock once, it only does 23, and I get to recover. I actually have to recover to full in order to get the curse off. So that's what I do. Also, by the way, curse coming in huge clutch. It got huge damage on Lando. It's the reason I am able to 1v1 this Rillaboom, because otherwise Shadow Ball is just not doing enough. And I'm not getting enough passive damage. Well, maybe it is. No, it probably is. But either way, Curse means I can actually effectively 1v1 this Rillaboom. I show the mean look off just because I don't need to recover again. Yeah, very, very close endgame. Sableye did throw. Even with the Sludge Wave was a throw, but the bigger one was he could just switch Rillaboom here, reset the terrain, and then bring Lando back in and kill my last two. Yeah. There was really no way for me to get around that. So, unless he died to rocks, which again, I'm still not sure because I don't know. Yeah. He shouldn't have though. He should have lived on 1. But yeah, super tight endgame. Very, very tight endgame. That's a narrow win for me, and I'm glad because I needed it. Otherwise, my playoffs was coming down to, I mean, I'd have to win my last 2 weeks, basically, which I'm not confident in. So, yeah, very, very close endgame. I think I spent enough time on that, huh? Nilly versus Eldritch is pretty interesting. So we're gonna see lead Mola. Lead Mola is so bad. This guy's led. I'm sorry, but Eldritch has led Raichu like almost every single week. Leading Mola into him is just not great. I know lead Tusk is a thing, but it's just gonna be lead Raichu like almost 90% of the time. It's gonna knock off the Diancie Mega. I don't have to explain that why that doesn't work. And then we're gonna see Nilly put rocks up, which is really nice. This is gonna Volt Switch probably into Tusk, but we're gonna see Wellspring come out actually. As this puts up a sub. It's going to Mega behind the sub for speed, and attack, obviously. Trailblaze will break the sub, and Moonblast will do a shit ton. Nilly's going to go hard Shaman Sky. Likely knowing it's Scarf. Yeah, it's Scarf. Knowing that she resists the dual stabs, that's all this is ever clicking, and she can just Scarf Air Slash to kill it and remove the threat, which is very nice. This is going to get back. Nilly's just going to go right back to Diancie, because she doesn't want anything else to get nuzzled. Doesn't die to Volt Switch, which is really nice. This is going to take a million from special moves, no matter what it is. It's going to hurt. We're going to see Raichu come right back out. That should mean this has no T-Bolt, because otherwise it would have clicked it. And then we're going to see Volt Switch come off. Nilly's actually going to preserve it and go hard in Noivern, which is very interesting. I like that play, knowing that it's going to Volt Switch. We're going to see Golden Go come out. Obviously, this is going to live and U-turn. And out comes the Muck. Big bad Muck. We're going to knock off the Boots on Great Tusk. Boots is crazy, by the way. As it Terra Grasses, and he predicts it with the Ice Spinner, but it doesn't matter because this is Terra Grass Giga Drain, which does 50 to this Great Tusk and heals it back up to like if it only just took rocks damage, which is insane. Very good bring from Nilly. I like that a lot. I mean, so far this game was just a lot of footsies of like back and forth. I mean, yeah, we got big damage on the Noivern with the Raichu, and we got pretty good damage on the Shaman, and we basically crippled the Diancie. Like the Diancie is just a sack at this point. We traded all of that for health on Raichu and a dead Ogerpon, which is not bad at all. Those are good trades so far. But this is the real swing of the game. Losing half on this to this Muk, and now you have to deal with a basically full health Terra Grass Muk. This is awful. So we're gonna see this. Nilly's actually gonna switch, not wanting to get paralyzed. Actually, it reveals Endeavor last. I'm assuming she didn't want to get paralyzed and didn't predict the Endeavor. Either way, very good play to recognize that. But yeah, not getting Endeavored, very clutch, because otherwise that Muck was in bad shape. We're just going to go to the Scarf Shaman and click Earth Power, which at this point has no switch-ins. It forces a kill. And then right back to this on the Dondozo. I don't know if he's clicking Ice Fang specifically to hit the Shaman or if he's predicting the Muck. Either way, it's the best play. Good on him. But Nilly is still just going to go, like, yeah. And we're clicking Knockoff, predicting the Aegislash coming in. Also, it's good to get rid of the leftovers. Very nice play. We're going to see Make It Rain come off, doesn't matter. Another knock should kill, and it does. This Muck is turning the tides of this entire game. Like, this Muck is changing everything. But it should get finished off by Ice Spinner here. But at this point, the damage is done. The holes have been punched, and now Shaman can start getting kills. Nilly makes the only bad play here and clicks Seed Flare instead of Earth Power. Why is that a bad play? Because at this point, if you're Nilly, right, you're winning this game almost no matter what, okay? Why are you winning this game almost no matter what? Because you beat Dondozo with Shaman. You beat everything with Shaman at this point. So what you can do, you can Earth Power to kill the Tusk, because it should be in range at that point, unless it's Spadef. You can Earth Power to kill the Great Tusk, because I'm 90% sure it dies, right? And then if Dondozo comes out and you 2-hit KO it, if he lets the Great Tusk dies and goes straight to Dondozo, that's fine. You go Mola, click Flip Turn, and you can go Noivern and get more chip. You can play footsies basically and just get chip on this over and over till the Shaman comes in and can kill with Earth Power. Why do I want to kill with Earth Power specifically? Because the only threat left at this point is the Terra Steel Raging Bolt. Terra Steel Raging Bolt can still win this game if it gets lucky enough. With Calm Mind, it's terrifying, genuinely terrifying. And now that we know its Scarf and the Seed Flare just came off, now it has free opportunities to click it. We're going to see Mola come out as the pivot, and now the Calm Mind is going to get clicked. Nilly lands this Toxic. If she misses this Toxic, the game is over. Just actually. But I'm just going to go for +3, knowing that he needs to be able to kill the Melm, but after Witch gets clicked, now the Mola has to die. And you might be thinking, Melm has no Spadef. This Melmetal is actually Assault Vest, but it gets crit out anyways. I don't know if it lived. I really don't think it did. Let's look at a Raging Bolt, right? Thunderbolt is doing that much, okay? It's +3. Yeah, you need to have a sick-looking Melmetal to live this. Yeah, I guess you do live most of the time. You need a lot of Spadef to live that most of the time. If you're no Spadef investment with just raw Assault Vest, yeah, you don't live. I don't know Nilly's spread. And even then it was a roll, so that crit might not have mattered. We're not sure. I also don't know the Raging Bolt spread, but I'm just gonna assume it's max attack modest. So that crit may or may not have mattered. I really don't know. But that T-Bolt, this Melmetal dying is really bad, because we all know this is Thunderclap, right? And this is really good play from Eldritch, being able to set up this endgame where this can win. Yeah. But the Toxic is rolling in, and here we see the Noivern come out. Okay, now we're playing a 50-50, just straight up. Either this Noivern clicks Draco and kills this, or this clicks Thunderclap and kills the Noivern. Right? And if it's me, actually, you know what? Let me run a calc real quick, right? Because the only other thing is Shaman Sky is still in the back with Earth Power, which doesn't kill you, actually. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Eldritch kind of threw this game actually then, because all Eldritch has to do is click Terra Steel and click Thunderbolt, and the game is over. Because he'll live any hit from Noivern, and he shouldn't die to Toxic. Especially with plus Spadef, he shouldn't die to Toxic. And if that happens, we know the Shaman is Scarf. That means that, yeah, we know the Shaman is Scarf. That means that it's always going to click an attacking move, so you can just Thunderclap it. So he should have just T-Bolted here. Now, actually, let me see one more thing. Noivern. If Noivern roosts and lands, losing its flying type, does Thunderclap or does T-Bolt still kill? Yes, it should. But this was defensive, so actually, it might not. It's at 30. Never mind, it always kills. Yeah, he should have just T-Bolted. Like, in all honesty, he should have just clicked T-Bolt, because now Thunderclap fails. This clicks Roost. Now, Nilly makes a misplay here. Here's how the game ends. Nilly gets the 50-50 right again, because at this point, with your damage, you have to get the play right. Yeah, I think if it goes to full and it's max HP, it lives most of the time now. So you actually have to get the Thunderbolt play right. Unless you're Draco. But even if you're Draco, I think if you're only +1, you don't kill. Actually, Shaman's low. Never mind. You definitely kill Shaman. You're only +1. Yeah, you absolutely kill Shaman. Yeah. So I mean, he could have just. If he had Draco, he should have clicked it. If he had a Dragon move, he should have clicked it. Instead of doing this, he should have clicked Terra Steel Dragon move. But instead, we're going to see another Thunderclap fail. Nilly also could have... What Nilly could have done is, if she's playing the raw 50-50... oh, wait, it's dead to Toxic. Or wait, no, Leftovers comes off first, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What Nilly could have done is gone Shaman first. Because Shaman cannot play this 50-50, only Noivern can, right? So what she could have done is, I mean, first time she roosts, right? And then we're on this turn. She could have gone Shaman, because even if she loses the 50-50, she can try to win one more, right? And if she gets it right and the Shaman, and he Thunderclaps again as the Shaman comes in, she can just go back to Noivern on the T-Bolt, and then bring it right back out to kill the Great Tusk. But also, like, Eldritch should have won this game. He should have just clicked Terra Steel, and he should have just killed this Noivern. In all honesty. Yeah. Nilly should have lost this game. Nilly should have lost this game to the Raging Bolt. But instead, this thing goes down to 1 on Thunderclap, and now the game is over. Now every 50-50 has been won. It's been stalled out successfully. Nilly can just attack in case it's like rest or some shit. It doesn't matter, because now Shaman can just come in. Nilly still makes one more crazy play. This is Terra Poison. You should just click Earth Power. I'm like 90,000,000% sure this is in range of Earth Power, right? This thing has to be ultra bulky to live in Earth Power. Even max HP is dying to an Earth Power here. Like, this has to be turbo bulky to live in Earth Power here. Why did you not just Earth Power? We know you have it, because if Air Slash misses, compete her out the window. So, like, I don't know. Nilly very much threw this game. She should have lost. She should have thrown this game out the window and her computer. But no offense. I'm not trying to shit talk, but like, yeah, Eldritch just misplayed a lot. He played the early game really well, to be honest. Got a nice amount of good trades. He managed, although the Terra Mug is what swung the game in Nilly's favor, he did handle it all right and got it killed, and realized he still could win with Raging Bolt, especially now that the Mug was dead. But not just clicking Terra and just winning the... He could have just clicked Terra Steel, clicked T-Bolt, and the game would have ended on those Noivern turns. So yeah. Nilly also should have just gone Mabel and started spamming Earthquake. Yeah, that's what she should have done. I think. I don't know. Getting the Toxic off was really nice too, but yeah. Narrow win for Nilly. Alright, we're gonna have the Sophie versus Typical, which is the biggest upset of the week. Sophie, I built her team, I gave her a game plan, and there was not a lot Typical could do about this game plan. I know this. We're going to see lead Masquerain versus lead Corviknight. Sticky Web comes off as it U-turns. This is really bad for him. Corvik's going to come right back in as this, I think, U-turns. Yeah, and this is what I told her. I said, all you do is get Webs up, and then you get Empoleon in, because two things are going to happen here. Either Webs are going to stay up as this trades with the Corviknight with Agility Surf maxing, or this is going to click Defog and give this +2/+2, and it's going to win the game on the spot. Because Gargus Terra Fairy, that doesn't matter. This is Cloak. Agility +2 Empoleon, because this is offensive Empoleon. It's Agility, Surf, Ice Beam. The entire team is dying. So, Typical probably is recognizing this and knows he cannot hit it. So instead we're going to see Surf come off. It's going to die to CC. But with all that damage, that means Ogerpon can come in with Sturdy and click Trailblaze for free. And now we're going to see Corviknife come right back out. Doesn't matter, this has Sturdy with Swords Dance. It's also defensive as all hell because it's an Ogerpon. And now it's going to Terra, get his +1 defense. Cudgel's going to kill. And that's pretty much game. It's not going to die to Horn Leech, but Earth Power is not going to kill it back. It's actually going to live on 1, which I'm not sure if that's a roll or what, but still. We're going to see another Trailblaze come off, which I don't think that's needed. I think you could have just Horn Leech for a little bit of extra health, but and then this should just die to... Oh, it doesn't die. That's right, yeah. We're gonna see Salt Cure come off, but this is getting so much health from Horn Leech. Like, it's gonna out-heal the Salt Cure, even off Recover. Yeah, and if we're being honest, first Horn Leech did 50. He should have just Earthquaked first. Or he should have Earthquaked this turn. Yeah. I mean, there wasn't a ton he could do, but he should have Earthquaked a lot earlier. Because Salt Cure brought it down to 33, and then Earthquake did 42. Yeah, Earthquake did a shit ton, actually. But, I mean, this is just going to keep Horn Leeching, and now this dies to Cudgel. And it'll die to Salt Cure, but then this dies to CC from Gallade. Yeah, just a very hard... This game plan effectively put Typical in a checkmate of either defog the webs away, and give Empoleon room to sweep your whole team, or don't defog the webs away and have webs up the entire game. But it also put him in his position after the -1 and the CC, and then Ogerpon could just click Trailblaze. And now it's faster than everything. But this is the other thing I've noticed with Sophie throughout the season. She has a Terra Ogerpon, and she has literally not used it once. It is Terra Ogerpon. This thing is broken. Why are we not using this more? This Earth Power not killing is really unfortunate, though, I will say. So, yeah. Not a lot to say there. I'm not sure exactly what Typical could have done about that. Yeah. I don't have a ton more to say, I don't think. The Ogerpon was just really fucking good into this team. Like, really good. Especially with the Terra Fairy Garg and not anything else. Like, there was not much to do there. Logan versus Icarus is a very interesting one. Well, no, it's not. This is another one where, here's the thing. Look at his team and look at Superior. You can probably tell how this game is ending. Arch beats it, but Arch doesn't have healing. So we're going to see lead T-Tar versus lead Greninja. He is going to U-turn as the Togekiss comes in. This is like super spit up Togekiss. This is meant to try to answer Greninja to the best of its ability, because Greninja was so fucking good into this team. Like, really good into this team. We're going to see Pelipper come out. This is just going to go for air slash damage, which is totally fair in my opinion. He might even get the flinch, which is fine. And then we're going to see Arch come out, and then Blood Moon comes in. Logan reads with Aura Sphere. Very nice play. This also covers T-Tar coming in, which is really nice. Though I think you could have just clicked Body Press and done more, but I don't know if Body Press does more, actually. Let me see. Like, versus an AV Ursaluna. DLU is 100. Yeah, Ursaluna. Because Blood Moon is always coming with a Assault Vest. Body Press does 20 to 30. Oh, or sure it does do more. Never mind then. Well played. But yeah, this covers T-Tar coming in and Ursaluna coming in, which are really the only two answers for Arch on this team. So recognizing that, clicking Aura Sphere, very nice. Ursaluna, this was super funny in prep because Ursaluna is shit into this entire team. It literally just doesn't do anything, except for the fact that it is a ground type, which means he can't just Electroshock Max into the whole team. Or just do things with Archaludon that we don't want. So, in comes Florges. Icarus is going to Blood Moon, which does a large amount of damage, because Blood Moon is really strong. He's going to go hard Iron Crown. Who would have guessed going the Steel type on a Florges? And then Calm Mind on the Protect. Very good play from Icarus. We're going to see shocks come out on the Tachyon cutter. It's going to do half, which is big damage. And then we're going to see this, where Icarus is actually going to stay in on this volt switch. Logan obviously predicting a switch, doesn't get it right. But Icarus did this. You see the volt switch did 31? That meant Earth Power was not killing. And Icarus was totally fine to trade this for the Sandy Shocks. So out comes Mr. Stamina. He's going to miss one Focus Blast on charging Electroshot and then miss a second one, which is extremely unfortunate. Though I'm not entirely sure what Logan was cooking here, because if he makes the obvious play again, which is cut your losses with the Iron Crown, because you can see him on the Florgus pretty much at any time, and go Blood Moon on his Electroshot, he just loses the game. Well, he doesn't lose the game, but he loses his Arch just instantly. So yeah, but instead Icarus misses 2 Focus Blasts, which is insane. Icarus also could have just landed and killed the Arch, like. But anyways, this is gonna come out. Tachyon is gonna live Tachyon on 1 in Wish. Icarus, oh wait, hold on. This was a good play from Logan, recognizing that Protect is an obvious play, and Boom Blast instead of on the Calm Mind instead of anything else. Arch is gonna come back out. At this point, it's taking a lot of damage. It's getting close to being in Tachyon range, but this time Icarus lands a Focus Blast, and it works out and the Arch dies. Now, I want you to think about this game again, and look at Logan's team again, and then take a look back at the Superior. Yeah, it's looking bad. It's looking real bad. This Serp is a huge threat now. It just went from scary to Omega level threat. This Dark Pulse comes off. This is actually Culver, but Logan gets bailed out again here as it gets flinched. But it's going to finish it off with U-turn, and then bring in the Palafin. This Palafin, bad switch, dude. Very bad switch. Logan letting in this Superior for free at all means auto lose. There's not really even a way to stop it in general. But, especially if we're going Florgus after, which doesn't do damage, like, now this gets to go for free Leaf Storms. Logan's gonna start Wish Maxing, but at this point, it's cooked. This is getting Leftovers healing. Leaf Storms are coming off. At +2, this is killing basically the entire team. Like, this is really, really bad. He's just gonna keep wishing, which, like, not breaking the sub, even worse. The wish doesn't even get to come off before the Slorgus dies. In comes Gren, which is faster. However, as Sludge Wave comes off, it's going to die to Giga Drain. Logan's best play was actually to U-turn and hope Icarus didn't resub, and then go to something like Sandy Shocks and Sack, and then bring the Gren back out in Sludge Wave. But if we're being honest at this point, first of all, this is not Scarf, and Dracovish is looking better and better and better. Yeah, Dracovish is looking like he can start beating the whole team. Especially after Life Orb damage from this Gren, which is going to have to spend at least 2 just to even get this Serp off the field. Yeah, it's kind of over for Logan. Yeah, there's just no way to get through this anymore. His whole team is chips. This is gonna kill with Giga. Right. This is gonna come out and Terra Ice. It doesn't matter. This is still faster. There was no point to Leaf Storming there. You could just click Giga into the rest of the team, and we're gonna see that again as Leaf Storm misses here. Like, just click Giga Drain. Like, there's no reason to get greedy. You're +6. Like, but Giga Drain comes out one more time, and that's enough healing so it doesn't die to Jet Punch either. So he's gonna Leaf Storm once again. We could just click Giga Drain and it's fine, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, Serp was just really fucking good over this team, and good on Icarus for recognizing that. When we were building this team, to be honest, I didn't really make that suggestion, that many suggestions. I said Blood Moon with AV needs to be there for Arch. I said, actually, no, I recommended Scarf Strong Draw Dracovish, and I said Togekiss for Spadef, because it's the only thing that's switching into Greninja's dual stabs. Really, the rest of this team was all Icarus. He's the one who recognized that Serp was good. He said I could probably bring Calm Mind Iron Crown again, and I said, yeah, you're probably right. We just got to change the setup a little bit, so we worked on that together. And then, I mean, T-Tar, Blood Moon, like, that was mostly, it was special, yeah. The rest of it was mostly him. A lot of the sets and intricacies were just him. I just pointed him in the right direction. Yeah, Icarus has been really good this season, and this win qualifies him for playoffs, which is really nice. So yeah, a dominant win from Icarus, a very bad loss for Logan, because with the differential loss, he's looking worse on his playoff chances. Yeah. Litfam versus Birds. I don't think there's a ton to say here. We're going to see lead Slowking as this puts up screens, and it's going to get immediately toxic. Apparently this doesn't have healing on it, so yeah, that's not good. Just so you know, Sylveon does not normally run screens. This mon is like Wish, Hyper Voice, Sunny Day type shit. This is going to Sunny Day anyways, which is backup for Gouge. But he's just going to Chilly Reception out. Now Skarmory's going to come in and just put up free hazards. Torkoal comes out, and he's just going to go right back to Slowking. Why is he going to go back to Slowking? Because Sun is up, and we don't want it to be. As long as Sun is up, Gouge can do shit. And this is a bit of a misplay from Birds. Why does this Torkoal not have Earthquake? It reveals Stone Edge later. And I'm assuming Stone Edge is to beat Kira, right? Stone Edge doesn't do anything because Snow boosts defense, first of all. Second of all, you want to Lava Plume the Kira because you want to fish for a burn. So, why don't we have Earthquake to stop the Slowking? Because if we're being honest, the only thing that kills the Slowking is like... I mean, we have Banette, we have Hydreigon, right? But if those mons come in, they're going to take Chip. So, but this is really good from Birds, though. Recognizing what this Why Not does and clicking on instead of anything else. That was really nice. So we're going to see Slowking come back out again because it's free. And we're going to see Stone Edge do 23. Again, if that was Earthquake, that's doing 40. And with Burn, we're doing about 50 a turn with Earthquake. Give or take. We're going to see Why Not come back out. Now that this is Toxic, he can just switch back and forth. So that's what he's going to do. Yeah, I mean, the Birds is just getting Toxic stalled. And Regenerator, like, he just can't get through this. We're going to see this come out. Why are we Body Press? I'm sorry. Why are we clicking Body Press? This mon... It could do so much better, if we're being honest. It gets Stone Edge if you're trying to hit Kira. You just have no reason to run Body Press, in my opinion. We're going to see Treads come out. We're going to see Chilly again. We're going to see Rock Slide this time. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, why... These two moves cover the same thing. Like, why are we running both? Like, we could be Supercell Slam and obliterate this Skarmory, but instead, we're in bad option. It's just not going well here. We're going to see Encore into the Roost, but, I mean, Litfam doesn't care. His item is gone. He can't get Poltergeisted. He's obviously not going to kill its Destiny Bond, but he is going to go hard Meowscarada on the Banette, knowing that he's okay with trading with the Destiny Bond if he wants to. U-turn on the Hydreigon. It does 43, which is insane damage, as it clicks Nasty Plot. I believe this is Terra Fair. Oh, Terra Water, yeah. And it is Protect. And also, by the way, I don't know if Birds made a Lord read here predicting Skarmory coming in or what, but yeah, you can't Terra Blast Electric this mon. Just so you're aware. But he does make the right play and catches the Skarmory on the switch, which is really nice, and manages to kill it. But after Life Orb, this means Meowscarada can just come right back out and click U-turn again. We're going to see Rhyperior versus Banette. He's just going to go to Meowscarada. At this point, Litfam is okay with sacking his Meowscarada to kill this mon. Because if we're being honest, Sylveon and Torkoal are both dead. Iron Treads is no longer a threat because it's at 29%. All you have to do is beat the Gouging Fire. Like, that's all you need to do to win this game, is beat the Gouging Fire. This is a full health Terra Water Rhyperior. This Gouging Fire is never winning this game. So, this game is just a win for them at this point. This one's going to come in, it is Boots. Slowking's going to come out as it clicks Spin, which is totally fair. Misses Stone Edge, it happens. But we're just going to be Chilly maxing. And now Husk of Entropy comes out, which, yeah, and it's Sweeper Kyurem as well. So we're going to go this off of Hyper Voice. But we're just going to keep Chilly maxing. Why Not's going to come out to stop this from doing anything. Actually, fun fact, we're just going right back to Slowking. Yeah, I mean, at this point, with this being toxic and no healing, Lifam can just switch between mons, like, infinitely. And now that this is out, it cannot touch this, because this has plus defense from Snow. And this is what I mean with this body press. Like, you're running this move, it's not even doing anything. Like, you'd be better off running max attack Iron Head. Also, why are we not clicking Iron Head? You have stab, it does more. But Home Claws outspeeds the whole team. And now we're going to see a whole bunch of hits come off. Burning Bulwark, yeah, but it doesn't make contact. So Scout Shot is going to kill through Reflect with 5 hits. I shouldn't have to mention that this is loaded dice, but it is. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, Birds just had nothing for Slowking, if we're being honest. And let them abuse that to all hell. You got a couple Toxics off and just switch back and forth between why not Slowking. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say than that. Yeah, unfortunate. Wefflez versus Aalaxel. So we're going to see Keldeo lead versus the Hatchram as Flip Turn comes off, and coming Gligar. Trick Room comes off, he's going to Healing Wish and bring in the Landorus. Here's the thing. Here's the problem with this game. Knockoff doesn't do anything to Mega Scizor. And now Trick Room is almost up. Wefflez sacked a whole mon for Trick Room, and we haven't gotten anything out of it. And here's the other thing too. Healing Wish is going to heal this 4% at Landorus. So at this point, we've sacked a whole mon for literally nothing. We've sacked a whole mon for that much percent on Scizor, and then we just got the knockoff on Gligar without Trick Room, basically. So a whole mon dead on Wefflez' side for really nothing at all. We're going to see a couple more switches, and then Pult versus Slowking. Trick Room's going to come off. You should save this, but he doesn't. He just lets it die. And then in comes Mawile. It's going to Swords Dance, which is a good play. Well, it's going to Play Rough and then Swords Dance in front of the Gligar, knowing it lives everything, and then kill a Play Rough. But now that Trick Room is over, he's just going to go to this, because it beats, Bullet Punch beats Sucker Punch. We're going to see 28% at -1, which means this is in range of Swords Dance. And here comes Swords Dance. Nox going to kill this. Earthquake's going to do damage, but he's just going to click SD again. And then we're going to see a bunch of Bullet Punches. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Wefflez just didn't get anything off of both of his Trick Rooms, right? He sacked Slowking and he sacked Hatchram, both for Trick Room. And he got nothing out of it. So when Trick Room was over, Aalaxel just pressed his speed advantage and the rest was history. There's really not much more to say in this game than that. It's just how it happened. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to take a quick look at the standings. I want to do a quick breakdown of playoff chances. So to get things started, Litfam, Icarus, and Aalaxel are all guaranteed playoffs. They all have 5 wins or more. They are guaranteed playoffs. There's nothing more to say than that, right? Eldritch, Birds, and Wefflez are guaranteed out. They have 5 losses. They cannot make playoffs anymore. So what about everyone else? Okay, well, everyone else, we gotta talk quite a bit. First of all, let me pull up another tab so I can switch between the standings and the schedule easily, right? Because the schedule is going to matter a lot for who fights who. Now, I'll write up a whole doc on what everyone needs to happen to make playoffs once Week 7 has been completed. But for now, I can do a brief overview of what it's looking like for everyone. So, first of all, how should I do this? I guess I'll just go top down. We'll start with Cable, who is 4-2 plus 11. This is really good. Cable has a really good shot at playoffs. The only problem is Cable fights, Cable's last 2 weeks are Litfam and myself. I shouldn't have to tell you that that's challenging. I don't like bragging, so I won't. But, yeah. So Cable can make it. Once again, I said that 5 wins. I mentioned this in the announcement thing. 5 wins makes you playoffs. 5 losses make sure you're out of contention. You can go 4-4 and make it. And on top of this, Cable has an amazing differential. Plus 11 at 4-2 is really good. Compare that to myself. I'm only plus 4 at 4-2. So plus 11 really good. So because of that, all Cable really has to do is abuse his higher differential. If he just takes his last 2 losses, I shouldn't say takes his last 2 losses because it's not guaranteed he'll lose to either of us. But worst case is he does lose to either of us, right? The best case for that situation is that he loses to us low differential. So Cable's goal, right? First of all, his goal, if he beats Litfam, he's in, right? Yes. Litfam is not looking like he's going to stop winning anytime soon. It's still possible, obviously, but the scenario where he loses to Litfam 1-0 or 2-0 is also really really good for Cable. On top of this, he could beat me. Does he want to come? Does he want his playoff chances coming down to week 8? Not really. So the play is the play you want is you can beat either me or Litfam, obviously, but you could also just lose to either of us with as a really close game, and you'll probably make it because once again, plus 11 is a really good differential. So I do think Cable has a good shot. Next is myself. I fight Birds and I fight Cable. If I win either of those, I'm in playoffs. My differential is not good, so I have to win both of those games, really, if we're being honest. If I lose both of those games, I really don't think I'd make it. But if I win just one, I can probably do it. So that's what I want to happen. I'll talk about Monem first, because Typical and Sableye have a very conflicting path here. Monem fights Mabel into Icarus, right? Monem needs to probably win both of those games. I don't know. It'll be really tight with the rest of the 3-3 people. But the main one, Monem really wants to be Mabel in particular. Why does Monem want to be Mabel? Because Mabel is another playoff contender. And Mabel is also has really bad differential for being 3-3. So giving Mabel another loss will likely just eliminate her straight up, if we're being honest. And that knocks out one playoff contender. That's one more person that could potentially take his spot in playoffs, right? So outside of that, he needs to win that. And then beating Icarus is also advised. Again, I won't know the full situation until week 7 is done. But Monem really wants to beat Mabel. Week 7 is going to be his make or break. Additionally, the same goes for Typical and Sableye. Because they're fighting week 7. And they're both 3-3, okay? So, this is really important. If Typical wins, he is more than likely in playoffs. He'll be 4-3 with a plus more differential. And then he fights... Who does he fight? He fights Birds week 8, which, most likely will just be a very close game at minimum, right? Or he can make it a close game, I should say. His team's really good. He's a good player. Typical can very easily make that a close game at a minimum and qualify himself for playoffs, right? So beating Sableye, make or break for him, right? Well, it's not a make or break, because if we're being honest, if Typical just has like a 1-0 loss versus Sableye and goes 3-4 plus 5, that's not bad either. He'd be the only person with a negative win-loss and a positive differential, because look at all the other 3-3 people right now. Like, any loss for them, they're going back to negative diff, right? So he'd have an amazing diff for 3-4, and then all he'd have to do is beat Birds. And if he does that, he'd be in playoffs. So Typical's playoff chances are looking really good just because his differential is so damn high. I know 6 doesn't look high, but it is really high. Every one of his losses have been super close. Every one of his wins have been pretty dominant. Sableye is on the other end of the spectrum here. Sableye, again, fights Typical and then fights Sophie. Sableye needs a close win versus Typical and a big win versus Sophie to make it, or just win both, or just win both. But it's getting down to the wire for Sableye. I think there's a chance that the winner of Typical and Sableye is the only one that makes playoffs, but there is also a good chance that both of them still end up making it, because they can make their game really close no matter what, and then they both can win their week 8 and potentially win off differential. Sableye, his goal is literally to not get swept versus Typical. If he makes it a close game and then wins wins with high diff versus Sophie, he's in playoffs. Additionally, Typical can do the same. Winning low diff versus Sableye, and then picking up really any win versus Birds would make him playoffs with a 4-4 plus and a big plus differential. It wouldn't be hard. Next is Nilly. Nilly's kind of separate from everyone else. She fights Wefflez, and then she fights Aalaxel. Nilly kind of wins to need both. She would like to win both just because her differential isn't great, but a win versus both would make it. Again, a lot of these 3-3 ones are really hard to decide just because it's like, I don't know how much they're going to win and or lose by, right? Yeah, it could be really close. Like, I mean, I can say a little bit about Monem versus Mabel and Typical versus Sableye just because they fight each other in Week 7. Both of those matches are going to be extremely important going into playoffs, but something like Nilly versus Wefflez isn't going to be. If Nilly loses that, she's probably out. If she wins, she can probably make playoffs if she beats Aalaxel too. Mabel again needs to beat Monem. That there's no. I think if Mabel loses to Monem, 3 and 4 with her differential will just mean she's automatically out. I don't think she can do it if she loses to Monem. She just has to beat Monem to have a good shot at playoffs. Because like even if she loses to Monem low differential and beats Litfam high differential, it's still quite dire for her. Now the 3, 2, and 4 people. Excelsior has the best chances, being -8. Excelsior needs to beat Icarus, and he needs to beat Eldritch. Both are possible. If he does that, he can make it, but he needs pretty good differential off of both to be able to make it up to these places, because he has pretty bad differential from getting swept once or twice, and then having some close games. Sophie is in a bad spot as well. Additionally, her bracket isn't great. She has to fight Aalaxel, who has already made playoffs, and then fight myself, I believe, is the other one. Or no, sorry, I'm a liar. She has to fight Sableye. Both people who are higher in the standings and have a history in this league. She needs to win both to make it. Losing either means she's out. Even then, she has to win high differential because her diff is bad. Very similar thing to Logan. Logan needs to beat Eldritch and Wefflez high diff. It's possible, but with his differential, it's looking unlikely. He needed a much closer game versus Icarus. A much closer game. A win there, and he would have had a much better shot. But a loss there means he might get knocked out. But he could still do it. He could still do it. Anything is possible at the end of the day. But for those who aren't aware, the tiebreakers in this league, obviously the standings are ordered by win-loss first. Second is differential, which is what you see here. This is how much you win or lose a game by. Number of Pokemon. Third is head-to-head. So for example, if me and Typical ended up tying at the end of the season, like completely, we have the same record and the same differential, I would be on top because I beat Typical in the regular season. And then the third is strength of schedule. I've never had to use this as a tiebreaker before, but if two coaches tie and they've never fought in the regular season, the tiebreaker comes down to who had the harder schedule, which for me would just come down to I'd look at who you fight and I'd look at the standings. And if you fought someone who is 16th in the standings, you get 1 point. If you fought someone who is first in the standings, you get 16 points. Whoever gets the most points wins the tiebreaker, right? I've never had to use that before, and even then, tiebreakers and seeding, they don't really happen a lot. It's normally just differential that makes or breaks it, especially for the 4 and 4 people that we're inevitably going to have. So, yeah, good luck to everyone. Really, anyone from here could potentially make it. If we're being honest, I think the people with the worst chances of making it are Logan, or not Logan, I'm sorry. Sophie is in dire straits. Sophie has Litfam into Sableye, which Litfam is going for an undefeated season at this point, and Sableye is going to be desperate to make playoffs. That's going to be really hard to win both of those with high differential. I would say Sophie probably has the worst chances of making playoffs. Other than that, really anyone has a decent shot. It's going to be 50-50 all the way down. But yeah, I don't have much more to say than that. I wish you guys the best of luck going into week 7, and I'll see you all next week.